Hey people, hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Today I wanted to give my thoughts and feelings about Inazuma 11 Victory Road. Stay tuned and I'll tell you what I think.
Alright!
First things first, I have not watched the shows, I've not watched any of that. My most experience with Inazuma 11 is being an observer and appreciator of level 5. If you guys don't know, level 5 started off with some of the best games of all time: Dark Cloud 1, Dark Cloud 2, Rogue Galaxy. I actually think they started getting worse after the Ni no Kuni era, which is where that and Professor Layton is where they got their big breaks, right? But first things first, I'm going to go over each mode individually and sort of talk about it. I'm going to probably turn the volume down a little bit. It's fucking loud. But first of all, this obviously is not scripted. I'm just giving my opinions off the top of my head. So, first of all, I just want to criticize this marketplace menu here, right? So if you guys have played the game, right, there is this marketplace menu, right, which has all the other menus for... There's a lot of loading between screens. So there are all these modes, right, with their own currencies. And Marketplace, for a loading screen, gives you almost all of them, right? And what I mean by almost all of them is the... One minute, let's get to story mode. We go into story mode, right? To get certain items, you cannot get them in the marketplace. You have to go here, check if it's here, right? And if it's not here, you have to go into a menu, go here, right? This is a lot. This is a lot to do things, right? Right? A lot of loading screens. And then you can check if it's in this shop, right? Or this shop over there, right? So what is the point in the marketplace mode if all the shops aren't there, right? I completed the story mode, and as much as I enjoyed the experience first time, it takes a lot. All this little shit adds up, right? And it's just really, really annoying. I'm going to quit out of story mode. I'm going to talk about the story mode a little bit. I quite enjoyed the story mode. I thought it was, not too bad, right? I don't know if it doesn't show my hours in the story mode, but, it felt short, right? There was, during the story mode, there's this point where, a team... surrenders to you and they're just never brought up ever again, right? And I felt like a complete just a loss in a whole plot arc or whatever, Also, all your characters, they're all right, but some of them really have no development after you get them. Thierry doesn't really develop. Broomhurst doesn't develop. Rika doesn't really develop, and neither does Alex, right? The characters that get the most fucking screen time are Shelby and fucking this guy, right? I even forget his name, and they're the only characters with hyper moves. I kind of expected that each of these characters would get their own hyper moves, based on different games, right? I know that they exist by playing the game. It's just kind of surprising that they wouldn't, maybe have each character have a hyper move that, kind of sets them apart. Because as soon as you're getting into, the greater game, right, you're sort of abandoning most of these characters because they don't have hyper moves, built into their kit. So, yeah, story mode was okay, but it sort of, asks you to play again. And problems with, just sheer amount of time waste become immediately apparent, right? There's just so much wasting of your time. There's, going into a menu and checking over things that you already know individually. There's this like interview segment that takes like 9 minutes or whatever, and there's been free DLC to the story, but it's like one match. It's one match with this one team that's completely not introduced whatsoever. There's no build up, there's no arc, there's no training, there's no even like real epilogue. It's just like one of the generic teams that you play against as a side quest. Like the only difference is that one of the guys has mode shift, which you already know what mode shift is because of like Shelby or whatever. So it's like not anything new to the characters. It just kind of feels off. Also, like, yeah, I'm not gonna say I didn't like the story. Like, I enjoyed it for what it is. It just kind of felt short, and also like, I don't know. The main bad guy had like no. I don't want to spoil it, but the main bad guy really like had no backstory. Well, he did have a backstory, but it was just like all exposition, like immediately, and then just end, right? And yeah, I kind of went, it's kind of right? Then you open up like Chronicle mode, right? Which is basically every match from every game ever, right? And it's quite good. It's quite good. I'm not going to say it wasn't fun, but, it has problems, right? So, like, I've done, like, one route, right? And this is a lot of games, right? And to progress one node, you have to complete 2 games of football. And that takes 15 to 10 minutes, right? Sometimes more. And all the content is really under-leveled, right? This is like the end game node, right? And I have to be leveled down to just accommodate them. It's just so long. It takes so long to relive the story and then do your own match against them. And to be honest, like, as much as like this was fun playing through Inazuma 11-1. Like, this is probably the least interesting one. And you have to beat it before you can unlock any of the other ones. And look, watch this. This takes so long for me to go over here. I mean, I can go here. And then 2 other ones just open up immediately. And I just don't know. I just don't know if I'll ever find myself having the time to play through this, because this is like, it goes on and goes on and it goes on and it goes on and on and on and on, dude. What the fuck? Like, these are all individually like 15, 30 minutes of time. It's just, and you need to do this to unlock like fucking Keshin and like hyper moves and stuff like that. There's no way around it. And it's a massive waste of time, and I'm not even getting into all the waste of times. But then you have, so Chronicle mode unlocks like matches and competition mode, right? And you can play like sort of challenging content, right? Sort of challenging content, because you max level so fast, right? You max level so fast, but so the point where I gave up on this game is there's a drop from this match, right? Called rare item drop up 5%, right? And I got about 8 or 9 of them, and I had like 3 maxed out teams by that point. It's just, and you want 16 of these to like fucking have the max rare item drop, so you can get other rare item drops, which you'll probably want an absurd amount. And even with letting the game play itself, it was just such a long and like just fucking slog, dude, that I just gave up. It's too much. You're asking too much, right? It's just too much. And I get this game was designed for offline and online. It's sort of a live service game, but there's not really been any much input, like updates or whatever. I have sort of gandered at other channels and what they're saying about this game and what, and it just seems like the meta is completely like toxic. This game, like level 5 did, I know this took 9 years, but level 5 did not really like think this out whatsoever, right? It's sort of like if FIFA was fused with Blitzball, right? And so there's this mode here, right? Which I just don't get. So you can make a little like house where you can like put penguins and like interact with other characters. Well, you can't interact with them. That's the thing. It's like you make this little house for your team, and it literally does nothing. And it's just there to actually like. And another thing is like this area has its own currency, right? And I showed you those 4 different markets with like, and including the story one with like their own currency. Well, if you play, there's this little shortcut to the other modes in this area. Well, guess what, buddy? That will flood your like see if I was trying to get that rare item up, right? My drops will be diluted with this Bond Town currency, which it's just absurd, dude. It's just absurd. And yes, I don't know why they made this. It feels completely pointless. It just it has no purpose. A thing was made, right? This whole area, and it's kind of like fucking having a problem right now as well. Anyway, there was one thing that also I want to comment on, right? Is there's something in story mode that's quite frustrating. And that is beans, right? If anyone's played this game, they know what I'm talking about when I say beans, right? Because, right, so beans are this like currency that each character needs like 900 of, right? Or something absurd, like an absurd amount of beans. So I only have 320, right? And this goes into like the customization of your character. Let's see how. So this guy can fucking equip like 500 beans, and I only have 320 total, right? So I try to remove training beans. I can't even. It won't even let me remove the beans. The beans are still there. I have to go into the mode to remove the beans, right? Okay, remove the beans, right? Also, like in terms of equipment, like this is my striker, right? Let's auto equip him with stuff, right? And see what fucking shoes they put on him, because they never put the right gear on anyone. Like it's like the most esoteric like boat. So this is plain boots. +6, and like as soon as like I come out, I'm immediately like these are the boots that you should fucking have, and they're on someone else for some fucking reason. But anyway, we're getting into beans, right? Now to get beans, you have to fucking come into this mode, right? And find like one of these, and you play one of these mini games, right? I'm just going to show you how little beans you get from this fucking mode. And this is the best one, because some of these like modes are like just like, what were they thinking, you know? And I'm sure anyone who's played this game knows what I'm fucking talking about, because it's like, what were they thinking? It's basically like these beans gains could be like 10 times what they are. And it would still not be enough. It would still not be enough beans, dude. And it's purposely made to waste your time. It's like it's shameless artificial inflation. So that took me 41 seconds, right? 41 seconds. and I don't even get like 100 beans, and I need like 800 or 600 per character, something absurd like that. And that's the best one to get beans, by the way. Best method to get beans. You can sort of dilute it with the other mini games, which have RNG and are fucking hard as shit, dude. And you know, unless they address these problems with the game, it's like playing a gacha like Genshin, you know, way back when it released, right? Where like the drops were miserable, there was no primos. It's icky sticky, and yeah, I just thought I'd give my thoughts and feelings. I just think that there's so many things about this game that shouldn't have like gotten out of the like concept room, right? Or, you know, games need to respect your time, right? You might be at an age between like 15 to 25 where you have endless amounts of hours to just dedicate to whatever fucking slop garbage game that you want to play. But now, as you get older and you start working full time, more hours or whatever, you know, it's going to be like every fucking minute counts, right? I think people need to understand that every fucking minute counts, right? One of the biggest issues with modern game design is a complete disrespect for your time, right? Like, they will put in things where, like, oh, press the A button, hold the A button for 2 seconds to open this valve, right? And every single time I do it, I feel myself fucking age, okay? I feel myself age in real time. Other than that, though, I quite liked Inazuma 11. I had a fun time playing the story mode, but everything outside of it was absolute garbage, awful, and I don't think they can ever save the game. They need to fucking work on a new game, or fix the fucking drop rates of some of the stuff in this game. It's esoteric, you know, what they were thinking. Anyway, love you. Hope you have a wonderful day. Ciao, ciao.